I've always had such a passion for cinema and filmmaking, from studying at the National Film and Television School. I went on to work on a range of different projects before Walk Home, from corporate work through to documentaries and TV work. I've really, really enjoyed all the projects I've worked on, but Walk Home has been a particularly fantastic project to create, and really a passion project.
I don't know how she's doing. I don't get updates or anything.
Anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever you get up to.
I want to keep separate because I don't want to upset her or confuse her.
I'm literally fine.
I'm not doing so great at the moment. It just feels like I'm never going to be whole.
Barry!
So, Walk Home deals with a lot of really serious and important topics, one of which being how important it is to admit when you're not okay. When people experience traumatic events, sometimes the delayed effect of that grief and that sadness and anxiety can happen years after the event happens itself. So, that was something we really wanted to look into in this project in Walk Home. Another big part of Walk Home, and this woman's journey, both metaphorically and physically home, is also how other people and healthy relationships and those around you can really help you to process that grief in a healthy and positive way. I have so many favorite filmmakers. There are so many fantastic directors out there, but as a cinematographer, I must admit that my biggest inspirations come from other cinematographers. So Roger Deakins, Mandy Walker, Charlotte Bruce Christensen, for example. Those are just some of my top cinematographers of all time. If I was given a good budget, there are so many stories that I think are just waiting to be told. So many stories about the environment and the impact on that, how that has on how we relate to the world around us. Also, I think there's loads of stories around the multicultural society we live in, and how we work and interact with people from different backgrounds and what that looks like in practice. And I think finally, one of the topics that is really, really interesting is happiness and what it means to be happy, and this kind of constant pursuit of happiness that people from all backgrounds are constantly searching for. So that's just a few of the topics I would touch with a great budget. Ensuring a production is on schedule can be challenging, but I think the number one thing that helps things run smoothly is actually making really conservative predictions. So always erring on the side of caution and adding extra time, way more time than you think you're going to need for setup, for just getting actors ready for the role, and also for pack down. I just think is really, really helpful and leads overall to things being on time. So the hardest thing about making Walk Home is that we made it in the autumn time in the UK. So our daylight hours were incredibly, incredibly restricted. We had a really, really tight schedule due to budget. So really navigating sun position, what shots could match what, beginning of the walk to the end of the walk, but all within those daylight hours was really, really challenging and required a lot of work in pre-production. So in terms of what's coming next, I actually already have another short film, which I've just completed on, which is all about keeping up appearances and the struggle that women in particular face to constantly keep up appearances, even when everything may not actually be as great as it seems. And there's also some other projects in the works that I'm really excited about, very early days, looking at the dynamics of relationships, especially in closed confined quarters, and again playing with that narrative of everything not always being as it seems.